Hi everyone, and welcome to our channel. Today we're diving deep into the world of AI algorithms and their impact on our perspectives and biases. Ever wondered where people get their news from in this digital age? Well, let's find out. I'm excited to share a couple of thought-provoking videos with you. We're going to watch as Olive from PragerU hits the streets to find out where people get their information from, as well as a short clip of users who question TikTok algorithms.
Olive here. Is the mainstream media trustworthy? We're here at UCLA to ask the students just that and to see where they get their news from. It's going to be a good one. Let's go. Where do you get your news? The New York Times. Social media. Social media.
Instagram, YouTube, most likely.
TikTok, Reddit, like the Wall Street Journal, CNN.
I subscribe to the New York Times, but then also for like day-to-day stuff, I'd say like Twitter or Instagram.
Where do you get your news?
Usually from my dad. He sends it to me. It's usually selling just negativity, and I don't want that.
And it just like stresses people out, so I don't really watch it.
On Instagram though, I feel like it's a lot of the general public talking to the general public, so I don't know how like trustworthy that news is, but I feel like CNN's a pretty good source.
Do you think the mainstream media is biased?
Yeah, 100%.
Do you trust the mainstream media?
Not really.
Not really.
It's not an act, at the end of the day.
I know that many people don't trust them. I trust like 60% of them. Yeah, they're like biased sometimes, yes. They're only giving us stuff they want us to hear, that's it. So you think the mainstream media lies?
Of course. Yeah, without a doubt.
You have an agenda.
Yeah, maybe.
It's clear, you can clearly see. It's not just like that. You have to really think hard or deep enough for that. It's also obvious.
It's all controversy, hearing clickbait, it's all that crap.
Do you think that the media generally skews left or right? Yeah, because they really depend on the source of the money. So whatever the money comes, so they are towards that agenda, like mindset. Do you think the mainstream media leans to one side or the other particularly? Like overall, do you think
It's like left-leaning,
In general, I'd say it's mostly left, yeah.
I feel like a lot of it's left-leaning, but all of it's just very biased. It's skewed in a way for it to favor like a more liberal agenda, which may like preclude me from getting the entire truth of something, but I kind of like accept that.
Why is that? Because you seem very self-aware, and I think there's a lot of people out there that only listen to one side, but they think they're getting the whole story.
Yeah, I feel like it's very difficult nowadays to be completely objective. If I'm gonna be fed false information, I'd rather it be liberal than like conservative.
They're trying to convince you of one thing or another, so if you watch it, you're going to end up like leaning that way eventually. It might not be right away, but...
Do you think the mainstream media influences people more to the left or the right?
That one's going to get me in trouble, but definitely the left.
The left and the mainstream media pushes anti-America, more social economics, and more social issues like LGBTQ. Agree or disagree?
I agree. Yeah.
Why do you think they're so adamant about pushing anti-America?
Recently, I think it's been very clear that we've kind of been taught about our country in a way that doesn't actually reflect the reality of it, and we're kind of being disillusioned with things like social media that make news just like more accessible to everybody.
Anyone else notice that your For You page has been a little too accurate lately? It hasn't been things that I'll Google or I talk about. It's been thoughts.
TikTok knows everything about us.
Hold up, don't scroll. Let me ask you something first. Can someone please explain how this algorithm works?
TikTok user.
As our interviewer engaged with people, it became clear many rely heavily on social media platforms, such as Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, or even Instagram for their news. The short clip after also highlighted uncertainty of how TikTok gathers its information. As you've seen in the first video, platforms like Facebook and Twitter, as well as certain TV news channels, play a significant role in shaping the information people consume on a daily basis. Well, here's something to consider. Have you noticed how artificial intelligence algorithms often tailor our social media feeds or news recommendations to echo our existing beliefs, this can create a sort of echo chamber effect, where we're only exposed to information that aligns with our perspectives. It's a reminder of the importance of seeking out diverse sources of news and information to ensure we have a well-rounded understanding of the world around us.
Our target audience are baby boomers, Gen Xers, Gen Zers, and cusp millennials. The age bracket from 1949 to 1980 are the most likely to be susceptible to consuming AI-produced misinformation and help spreading a false narrative, and honestly, through no real fault of their own. These are the last of the generations to not be born into technology. These are the generations that were raised to believe that a man's word is his honor. Because people just don't lie for no reason, period. Unfortunately, AI is a person.
Let's start by understanding what AI algorithms are and how they work. AI algorithms are sophisticated sets of instructions designed to process data and perform tasks anonymously, mimicking human intelligence. They work by analyzing large amounts of data, identifying patterns, and making predictions or decisions based on that analysis. These algorithms power various applications, from recommending products on e-commerce websites to personalizing social media feeds. Essentially, these algorithms analyze our online behavior, including our search history, interactions, listening devices, and even our keystrokes. And then they tailor the content we see on social media platforms. Think of them as invisible gatekeepers, determining what information gets through to us and what doesn't. Because of these algorithms, it can create a one-sided view, eliminating other perspectives that we may not be aware of because of these formed biases.
Manipulating AI algorithms. Here are some examples of those biases that we accumulated from a Facebook page that we made specifically for this experiment. We have chosen to manipulate it by feeding it misleading information, exploiting its programs, and using specific techniques to trigger unintended responses. We deprived AI by minimizing our participation on the page, only relying on AI's listening devices to depict what information, if any, would be utilized to create the algorithms. But here's the thing. AI algorithms aren't foolproof. In fact, they can be manipulated. By feeding them misleading information and exploiting their programs, we actually triggered unintended responses. It's a lot like playing a game of chess with your computer. You just need to know the right moves to make.
To illustrate this point, let's take a look at some data from the Facebook page experiment we just spoke about. We allowed AI algorithms to create the entire algorithm for the page based solely on listening device data and our 4 original posts. Those were geared towards the Democratic political party, beautiful places to visit, plants, and positivity. What we found was eye-opening. The posts on the page exhibited various biases, including confirmation, availability, authority, sensationalism, and anchoring biases.
Ethos, pathos, and logos. Now let's talk about ethos, pathos, and logos, the 3 pillars of persuasion. By presenting statistics directly from the Facebook page, we establish our credibility. Then we appeal to the emotions by sharing examples of how AI algorithms have led individuals astray. Finally, we use logic and reasoning to show how these algorithms target personal beliefs and restrict exposure to diverse perspectives.
So what does this reliance mean for our understanding of the world? Social media algorithms wield immense power. They tailor our feeds to our interests and preferences, effectively shaping our worldview. It's crucial to distinguish between misinformation, biases, and scams. And that's exactly what we've tried to speak about in this video. As you see, just from the 4 posts we originally made, AI-generated posts and memes were highlighted towards the Democratic side of politics. This mirrors our personal biases, feeding us more of the same content. In today's world of social media algorithms, it's easy to get caught in a bubble of a one-sided perspective. Consider the scenario where you're interested in learning about a political issue. Let's just say, for example, immigration policy. You start by searching for information online and clicking on articles that align with your preconceived beliefs. Perhaps they were favoring stricter immigration laws. The algorithms, ever watchful, take note of your preferences and begin tailoring your search results and newsfeed accordingly. Suddenly, your social media feed is flooded with content supporting your stance on immigration. You see memes, articles, and videos that reinforce the idea that stricter immigration policies are the only solution. Over time, you may find yourself surrounded by a virtual community that shares your viewpoint, effectively shielding you from alternative perspectives. As a result, you become less exposed to differing opinions and factual evidence that might challenge your stance on the issue. Well, this is exactly what happened to me with my social media and algorithms. Initially, I had strong beliefs about border security, feeling that it was extremely important for various reasons. However, after doing some research, I also came across some newfound information that I hadn't been exposed to before. It wasn't until I took a deeper look at the children being affected by immigration policies did I realize how complex the issue truly is. Through articles, videos, and personal stories that were not a part of my initial echo chamber, I began to understand the human side of the debate. Algorithms had kept me within a bubble of a one-sided perspective, reinforcing my already existing beliefs and shielding me from alternative viewpoints. But by actively seeking out diverse sources of information and challenging my own biases, I was able to broaden my understanding of the issue. In this way, algorithms perpetrate a one-sided perspective by continuously feeding us content that aligns with our existing beliefs, inadvertently reinforcing our biases and limiting our exposure to diverse viewpoints. The point being is this: if we allow AI algorithms to implement our news and be our source of information, then we are going to be misinformed or uninformed altogether. So it's important to be aware of the biases that AI-generated algorithms can showcase, causing a one-sided perspective. It's time to break free from the echo chamber and embrace a more balanced approach to information consumption.
In conclusion, AI algorithms play a significant role in shaping our online experiences. But by understanding how they work and being mindful of their influence, we can take back control of our digital lives. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content just like this.
And stay tuned for a bonus clip right after. And until next time, take care and stay curious.
And I'm Ryan Wolf.
Our greatest responsibility is to
serve our Treasure Valley communities, the El Paso, Las Cruces communities, Eastern Iowa communities, Mid-Michigan communities. We're extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CS4 News produces. But our country, sharing the biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first. The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. This is extremely
democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our 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 democracy. This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy. This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.